Hello! I've just got my games room sort of tidy, so I thought I'd give a proper look at it now. It's basically the way I want it, so here we go. First I set off with the television. It's a Bang & Olufsen 4200. It's 21 inches in size, very nice picture quality. It's got two RGB ports at the back, which is one of the main reasons I got this one. The sound on it is absolutely superb when you turn up the bass. It's a very nice television. It's also very shallow, so it actually fits on quite small desks like this does. Now underneath this is where I store my consoles. Let me move in and focus. Bear with me, I'm using a digital camera, still camera to actually film this. And everything's done manually. Okay, underneath there are my Segas. Segas? Is that a proper word? It is now. That is my Sega Mega Drive, which I had when I was younger. Next to it is the cartridge, which I am playing at the time because I have a habit of not putting stuff away properly. So what I tend to do now is put the box, of the game I'm playing next to it. Next to that is my Sega Multi-Mega, which I use now for mostly my main Sega, to be honest. It's just smaller, more convenient. It seems to be reading cartridges a bit better. My old one's starting to struggle at times. Underneath that is my Sega Dreamcast, which used to be my friend's, and he gave it to me when he heard I was playing retro games and stuff. Next to that is my original Xbox. I got that for Christmas many moons ago. Under there are where all the nasty plugs and wires go. Each plug's got its own switch. What I actually do is turn on the switch of the stuff I need at the time, so I don't have them all on at once. Let's go to the next row. I'll tell you what, let's do a bit of focusing. There we go. That is my Japanese Saturn next to my PAL Saturn. Turn the brightness down a bit. Underneath there is my Commodore Amiga. I've only got a couple of games for that. Underneath is basically a spare shelf, which I've got my arcade sticks in there at the moment. If I get another console, that's where it'll be. Probably a Super Nintendo or a N64. And underneath the floor is just where I put all the junk. So let's go have a look at the... If I zoom back, if we can look at these cases now, this is where I've got my games. So let's go closer and look at the games. So starting with the bookcase on the left. At the top are my Sega Saturn games, the PAL ones. Moving down, more PAL Saturn games with a small collection of Japanese Saturn. The Japanese Saturn ones consist of Samurai Showdown 4 as well, Rockman X3, Rockman X4, Metal Slug, Dodonpachi. Well, I keep calling Dodonpachi for some reason. Street Fighter Zero, Street Fighter vs X-Men, and the SNK Best of, or the collection of King of Fighters. There we go. Go further down, that's where my Mega Drive collection starts. I actually prefer these glass shelves. Let's turn the brightness up a bit, shall we? I actually prefer these glass shelves to the wooden ones. I went to IKEA to buy some extra shelves. The glass ones were £4 and the wooden ones were £6. So I bought glass ones because I was short of a few quid, to be honest. Let's keep moving down. Another shelf. Another shelf of them. There we go. Even more. Let me adjust that so you can see. Then just basically a shelf of junk, and then my Retro Gamer collection magazines. So let's go look at the other side. So starting at the top is where I keep my camera stuff. That's my 100 to 400mm lens. I'm using the camera to film, obviously, that's why that's not there. Underneath there is my Xbox 360 collection. Probably got about 30 or 40 in total. They're in no particular order, so I don't try and make sense of it. Let's keep moving down. This is where I keep my Yoshi and my original Xbox games. One of my lonesome Mega CD games, and the only two DS games I actually own, and the only boxed Sega Master System game I own. Let's keep moving down. This is where the Dreamcast games are, which I've never played, and a small handful of Wii games. The Wii's actually downstairs, so I might bring that up here. Pictures when I was younger, yay! A few box sets behind there, got my Futurama and stuff like that. Down here let's see if we can adjust this so you can see it properly. There are actually boxes, several boxes of hundreds, and I do mean hundreds, of Commodore 64 floppy disks. There's actually boxes and boxes underneath there as well. So that is a basic tour of what's what. So I'm actually going to show you some of the technology stuff that I use when playing games, and how I capture stuff as well. Take two. This is a Shiny Bow 6:2 SCART matrix. What that basically means is I have 6 RGB SCART inputs, and I can actually output to 2 devices. So this one here is actually going to the television, and this one is actually going to this little device over here. Don't know if you can see it very well. It's actually called a sync strike, and what it does, it actually converts the RGB SCART signal into a VGA signal, so you can use a capture device to actually capture it properly. And because of this, because it splits it between 2, I can actually play on the television while capturing on the screen. That's how I get the effect of, you see it on my television and then all of a sudden it blends over the captured image. So what does all this useless technology mean? Well, it's not exactly useless, don't know why I said that. It means I can actually play a game on the CRT and actually capture it on the computer like that at the same time, which means I can also play light gun games, as obviously light guns don't work with LCD screens and whatnot now, only works with CRTs. But also what it does is I can quickly flick between different consoles with a flick of a button from the remote control here, which you get with the SCART switch. So at the moment, number 1 is the Japanese Sega Saturn. I can press number 2, and there we go, that is the PAL Saturn. But if you actually look over here, because I've only told it the television to go to number 2, it's actually would still be capturing the Japanese Sega Saturn. Might not be that much things you can do with it. I have plans which I hope to be able to take advantage of in the end. Okay, so number 2, I've got my Japanese Saturn. I press number 3, what have we got? I've actually got my Commodore Amiga loading at a most inconvenient time. It's got great music on this, I must say. Listen to the bass on that. I don't think you can hear the bass on that, that's brilliant. Anyway, so that was number 3. If I go to number 4, we'll go at number 4. We have nothing, because my Mega Drive's turned off. There you go, Mega Drive, multi-mega. So, I'm not filming this again. Number 3, we got my. Number 4, we got the Sega Mega Drive playing Alien 3. Here we go. Brilliant game. Number 4. Number 5, sorry, is the Sega Multi-Mega, about to play Solo Face, or whatever it's called. And number 6, we have Dead or Alive 3 on my Xbox. And if you actually look over here, the capture's still going for the Sega Saturn, the Japanese Sega Saturn. If I press number 2 on the second plug, there you go, there is, after a little bit of sorting out, there is the PAL Saturn, number 3, Commodore Amiga, 4, Alien 3 the Mega Drive, Mega CD, and then finally the Xbox. So that's what that technology does. I actually plan to do some streaming one day when my subs get up high enough, so that ever happen. I'm about 10 off doing that, but I like to do some streaming. What I can actually do is, while you lot are actually watching probably the intro or something else of Game 1, I can actually be getting Game 2 ready over here. I can, for example, let's go to there, Commodore Amiga. Yep, the Amiga's up and running. And when everything is up and running, I can say, you guys, while you're watching Dead or Alive 3, I can go, let's play some Commodore Amiga, and it'll actually start streaming that. One thing I forgot to mention is this capture card can actually capture it 60 frames a second at 720p. You can actually do 1080p at 30 frames a second, but I can't put that exclusively on the Xbox, so I'm down to 720. What this enables me to do is actually stream things I'm playing on the Xbox, so in the future, if anybody wants to have a game on Xbox Live, together, we can actually stream that live while we have a quick game or something. So there was a quick tour of my games room. The room's not as big as other people's and the collection's not as expansive as other people's, but it's how I like it. I've got the systems I want, I've got the games I want. That is also a sincere invitation to anyone really. If you can think of an Xbox Live Arcade game which would be good to stream live while we all have a game, I can actually set it up so I can actually hear everyone and whatnot and put that on the screen. It'd be good for something like Turtles Arcade or Simpsons Arcade where everyone's on the screen at once. If you think you're up for it or you've got a good idea, PM me and we'll see what we can do, so we can arrange it and test it out first. A very sincere thank you for watching everyone, and until next time, happy gaming.